Hello.
Yeah, hi.
These are the articles yesterday you was.
Yeah, just let me take a look. What are these? These are not unique. You have to be more original and be more creative.
Yeah, okay, sorry. We'll do it again.
Is your lecturer or managing rejecting your ideas for not being unique or creative?
बदलते वर्क कल्चर में खुद को ढालने के लिए आपके अंदर क्रिएटिविटी जैसे इम्पोर्टेंट एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी स्किल्स का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
So hello everyone, this is Sahitya
And this is Pratyusha from National Skills Network.
and we'll tell you 3 ways in which you can develop the skill of creativity.
Point number 1. Be imaginative. Whenever you see something which can be further improved, then think of ways to do that. आपके वर्क प्लेस में ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स होंगे जिनका सोल्यूशन आज तक किसी ने फाइंड आउट नहीं किया होगा. देन यू कैन डू दैट. यू कैन फाइंड न्यू सोल्यूशंस फॉर दैट. If you have some work which is manual and it is hard for you to do that, then try to automate it completely or at least a part of it.
Point number 2, be willing to take risks. When it comes to building your creative skills, you should be able to take risks. You may not succeed every time in your creative attempt, but this fear of failure should not stop you from making any progress.
पॉइंट नंबर 3, बी ओरिजिनल. एग्जिस्टिंग आइडियाज को कॉपी करना आपको एक टेम्पररी सोल्यूशन दे सकता है, बट अगर आपको लॉन्ग रन के लिए सोल्यूशन चाहिए देन यू हैव टू फाइंड योर ओन सोल्यूशन. इट इज़ ओके टू लर्न फ्रॉम अदर्स बाय ऑब्जर्विंग देम, बट डू नॉट कॉपी देयर वर्क. Try to think of your own ideas and write them down in a piece of paper. Then research with the available resources.
So here is the best part. We'll give you some action points as a takeaway from our video so that you can learn and develop the skill of creativity.
Now let's look at 3 action points for improving creativity. Yes, improving is the word. What it means is that we are all born creative. As children, we have been very creative, but somehow as we grow up, due to various reasons, either it could be schooling or parenting, we lose a lot of creativity. We become more conscious. So like Sahitya and Pratyusha were telling you some points about how to be original, how not to copy, and how to keep improving, it's very important that we try to observe the ordinary to be creative. Contrary to the thought process that being creative is something very extraordinary, you should believe that it's something very ordinary and very day-to-day kind of a thing. So you just have to start doing things differently, which means you should start thinking about things differently. It could be as simple as the way you serve breakfast, or the way you eat, or the way you dress up, or something that you do every day. It could be a very mundane activity. The fact that you're able to do it differently shows that you have brought in a bit of creativity there. So, at a serious kind of a level, if you have to really apply creativity, in things like workplace context, where you have to, manage teams, take decisions, come up with innovative solutions, and so on. In such situations, I think the best way to show creativity is by postponing decisions. Yes, it is very important not to jump to some decision and take some time, think cool, think calm, and then relax, and that's when the creative juices start flowing. Yes, that's when it happens. Your mind needs that space and that relaxation, so that you start self brainstorming. You start telling yourself, okay, now look, these are the options. Let me just put all these points somewhere. And as you know, the rule of brainstorming is never to judge yourself. The moment you judge yourself and tell yourself that, hey, look, that idea sounds very stupid, let me remove it. The moment you do that, then your creative processes don't work. So let it all come, let it all flow. And then while you are doing this, you are actually coming up with various options for a particular situation or a problem that you are going to solve, or a proposal that you are going to write. It could be many, many things that you do in your office or at home. So it is most applicable to both your personal decision making and your professional decision making. And most importantly, always remember, the challenge is to think simple. The moment you complicate things and bringing whole lot of other things, then it's gone. It could even be like deciding something so that you are able to have a good holiday. Now this itself, the planning itself, can be done very creatively. You can come up with new options so your holiday becomes much more enjoyable. It all starts with thinking simple. If you complicate this, then you lose track of creativity. Now, second important action point here is to take the creativity challenge. This is more for developing a creative brain continuously by doing some activities consciously. So here's a very popular kind of a challenge which most of us have done, when during some training program or the other. This is the challenge which you can try here as well. So here you see a lot of circles, in fact 30 circles, and for each circle you will have to draw something which makes it a very recognizable object. It could be a smiley, it could be let's say a CD, or it could be a flower, or it could be a plate, or it could be I don't know, the mind has to just go wild. Just start filling them and then you go back and see how many ways you have thought for one circle. Now while you're doing this exercise, when you finish it, just relax and then be yourself. And being oneself, I think, is the core to be creative. Like you heard earlier also, never copy, never take somebody else's idea. Of course you might do that, for we all do that, because there's so much of information all around us, we see so many things. But then it's good to take, listen, hear, do things, but then we have to find our own way. This is how creativity will blossom and innovations will come up, and this is where we become very creative individuals. So most important again here is to stop worrying about what people will think or say. Like in Hindi we say, log kya kahenge? Log to kuch bhi kahenge. Whether you do things or not, whether you sit quiet, people will always say things. So just ignore them and keep going. And at the same time, remember, having fun is the core of creativity. The moment we become too serious, the moment we think of a lot of serious things and the outcomes and the results, then the creativity process will suffer. So when you have fun and when you stop thinking about people, when you stop thinking about constraints, when you stop thinking about limitations, when you stop thinking about a box, it could be an imaginary box which you have put your head into. When you do all this, ideas will just flow and grow. I think this is where creativity starts. So while you are doing this, what you actually are doing is you are encouraging intuition. You are kind of telling yourself, hey look, intuitively I feel this will work. Somewhere my sixth sense tells me that this will work. Encourage such thought processes and keep continuing to draw the big picture. By this I mean, take a small issue, like for instance, let's say you are again the holiday planning example. If you want to go to a destination, you might have a way of planning your holiday. You might think, okay, this is the good time to go, these are the people who are coming with me, then I go and book my ticket and do things of that kind, which are pretty predictable and normal. But if you think big picture wise, okay, when I'm going to this place, let me also look at few things around this place, or let me see why a certain place has so much of importance, or you try to bring in a lot of connected things here, and then think of it like the big picture. So it also means you will look at the related aspects of doing a certain activity. You start connecting and creating, and at the end of the whole thing you don't conform. So being a conformist is again a negative aspect here. Be a non-conformist to an extent that you are able to get out of the routine way of looking at things. Now third and most important action point is the skills and qualities to improve creativity. Yes, look back at various situations and then think of a situation where you were very creative, you were happy being creative and offering creative solutions, and you thought you were doing things completely out of the box, or you imagined that there was no box at all. So look back at such situations and then write down few skills, like a list. So what are the skills? it could be I can do certain things. That means I can think out of the box, I can think innovatively, I can sit quietly and use my brain to think beyond whatever is given to me. So the thinking process can be listed down. You can think, you can do certain things in a certain way. List down all these things. And what are the qualities? The qualities could have been you were very broad minded, you were very open minded, you were able to accommodate some things, you were able to go beyond the limits, you were able to be very innovative, and so on and so forth. So write down these skills and qualities. It will help you in assessing your creative abilities and continuing to grow as a creative person. Now, like in every presentation of ours, we tell you to use a visual, the best visual that can describe you as a creative person. So pick up a visual and then put it there, and then think more about the visual and start aligning your thoughts with that visual, and this will help you to have a visual image of you as a creative person. So at the end of it, let me also tell you, we do many things, but how many times do we document them or write it out? It could be a blog, it could be an article, it could be anything to capture the experience, the learning experience of a certain phase or a certain activity. Now, while you're doing this for creativity, I would encourage you to please write down no matter what it is. And then if you want us to even consider for publishing on National Skills Network, do send it to us. So here we go. This is our website, nationalskillsnetwork.in. You can write to us at the email ID given here. Follow us on all these social media channels, and remember to subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell icon on top. Thank you so much.